Did you know there was a Grinch Halloween prequel to How the Grinch Stole Christmas? Well, there is. And we're going to talk about that right now in this Halloween edition of Retro Crunch. What up to my peoples? Welcome back to Retro Crunch, your nostalgia show that is all about current pop culture, movies, music, and games that relates to all things 70s, 80s, and 90s. Alright, so Halloween is Grinch Night is the name of a Halloween TV special that actually came out in 1977. And although it came out after How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Whoville.com states that this movie is actually the prequel. According to Wikipedia and IMDB, it won the 1977 Emmy Award for Outstanding Animated Program. But I did some research and wasn't able to find any credible evidence that it was even nominated. The special did premiere on ABC back in October 29th of 1977 and continued to air seasonally on through the 1980s and was then released on VHS in 1989. But enough about the history. Let's get on with the story. The story starts off near Whoville during a night called Grinch Night, which started when a sour sweet wind blows and sets off a chain of events that get the Grinch really annoyed to the degree that the Grinch wants to go down to Whoville and terrorize all the Whos. As the story starts, the sour sweet wind is just starting to blow when the main character Euchariah goes to use the outdoor crapper but is swept away to Mount Crumpet by the wind. On the road, he encounters the Grinch, who is busy picking brickles out of his rear after failing to hunt down the Woozy Woos. He's also got his dog Max with him, who is in the process of bringing a large wagon called the Paraphernalia Wagon down to Whoville. Yeah, you'll see later why it's called the Paraphernalia Wagon. Don't worry about that. Euchariah, who sees the Grinch on the road, decides to keep the Grinch from reaching Whoville by stalling him. On the first two occasions, the Grinch dismisses him by saying that Euchariah isn't worth the first-class Grinching. But after Euchariah's persistence, the Grinch decides that he's had enough of the little Who and decides that he's going to give him a closer look at the Paraphernalia Wagon. When Euchariah does take a look, the Grinch opens up the wagon and a cloud of green smoke with Grinch-like eyes emerges and ensnares him. I don't get it. Ensnares him? Like grabs him? I don't know. Inside the wagon, Euchariah is confronted by some creepy acid trip type hypnotic monsters and psychedelic visions, and also the Grinch's mocking voice. Though scared pretty much to death, Euchariah somehow manages to stay sane long enough for the sour sweet wind to die down. And it forced the Grinch to pack up and retreat to his cave. Alright, this is probably the weakest part of the whole story. Even though they explain that since the noises that were annoying to the Grinch died down, he decided to just go back home. Without a fight, just kind of gave up. But the one kicker here is that Max, on the other hand, who had been abused and overworked by the Grinch, he decides to go home with Euchariah. I get it. The Grinch treated you like crap. But to just take off without a goodbye or anything, man, that is cold. And this kind of trips me out because in the sequel, Max is back with the Grinch in The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. So you can only assume that Max may have been treated better with the Grinch than with Euchariah. Kind of makes you wonder why Max might have been treated so badly now, right? First he abandons his master, then he finds out life ain't so good on the other side and then decides to grovel back to the Grinch. Starting to see a pattern here. Anyways, back in Whoville, the residents celebrate Euchariah's courage in preventing the Grinch from releasing the Paraphernalia Wagon's full horrors on the town. But in all honesty, if you pay attention to how happy and zonked out those Whos look, I'd be surprised if they weren't already getting some regularly provided pharmaceutical goods from the Grinch all along. I mean, what kind of paraphernalia is this guy carrying with him? I mean, who calls their wagon a paraphernalia wagon? Dude, straight up gangster. And to end the story, up in the mountains, the Grinch, who is hauling the wagon home by himself, ominously notes that one day soon, the sour sweet wind will blow once more, and it will be Grinch Night all over again. And indeed it would be. But that story is for another day. That's some scary shit. Ooh, that scares me. If you're a big fan of the Christmas special, it's probably worth watching, but probably just for the nostalgia of it alone. And that's it for this special Halloween edition. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on all the nostalgia news and shows that we put on.